Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries, and we are on the silver medal of commandments. That's right, commandment number 2, and I'm going to read it to you so there's no mistaking of what the word says. This is found in Exodus chapter 20 verses 4 and 5. I'm only going to read half of 5 because I'm going to focus on the certain things here. I'll read it to you. You shall not make unto you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in water under the earth. You shall not bow yourself to them, nor serve them. I'm going to stop there because those are the ones we really need to focus on. God does not want us to make anything out of anything that He has made to represent Him. Now, a lot of other religions will do this with their gods. When we think of Buddha, you think of the little Buddha that some people have as decoration or whatnot. Some actually think it's for good luck. There are plenty of religions that have little statues that you are to bow down and worship. And there are some religions have a specific place and a specific building you're supposed to bow to so often. And anything that's made with human hands cannot represent God. It's not possible. Well, one thing, He's above everything that He has made, and He's the one who made it. So how can we make something that represents the greatest being that there ever was? Remember, He had never had a beginning, and He made us. So if we're making something out of gold, plastic, ceramic, whatever the material is, we can't do God justice. It just doesn't meet the criteria of who God is. Another reason we can't bow down to something man-made is because God is spirit, and we are to worship Him in spirit and in truth. Now, when the Bible talks about anything in the heavens, the stars, the moon, the sun, the planets, and this would include horoscopes. If you're reading a horoscope to get information about your life, you're going to the wrong source. Actually, this goes to more the first commandment, no other gods before me. But if you're looking to the stars to guide you, you're looking for the wrong guidance, because stars cannot guide anybody. I don't care what they write in there, but that's a whole nother subject. Now, even in the world of Christianity, even the ones who worship the true God in spirit and in truth, we also can worship a graven image if we're not careful. And I may step on some toes with this one, and I don't mean to offend or upset anybody purposely, but if this is bothering you, you need to take it up with God and ask Him, is this something I'm doing? See, a lot of people have a ceramic Jesus or a picture of Jesus. See, Jesus, while He was spirit at one time, He became a human being. And He is represented in many, many ways in children's books, in knickknacks and pictures and whatever have you. And there's nothing wrong with those things. The problem comes when we are kneeling to those things, when we are bowing down and worshiping toward those things. But those things just represent God. And they cannot truly represent God at all. To kneel and bow down to them and worship them is a sort of an insult to God, because you're taking something made with human hands and you're bowing to it. See, God is spirit, and He is to be worshipped in spirit and in truth. So if we're not, think about the people around the world who do not have those little things to help remind them of who Jesus is. They don't have the statues. They have to meet in basements and in caves and in homes and as secretly as possible. They don't have they don't have those things. They don't have the pictures to help them think of Jesus. And the pictures we do have, at least in Europe and America, those pictures are of white Europeans. Jesus was not white, and He was not European. He was a Middle Eastern, full-blooded Jewish man. So He didn't look anything like the pictures that we have. So to bow down to them or toward them, it's not proper. So we need to be careful to not do that. We can also make a graven image when it comes to our church. I mentioned places before. Sometimes people make church the idol. Everything's about the church. The church is more important than the actual service of God. How the church looks is more important than the worshiping and hearing of the Word. So we got to tread, as followers of Christ, we really do need to tread lightly and make sure, even if it, we'll say, represents God, we are not crossing that line and worshiping the thing that represents God. That's a matter of what's on in your own heart. And you need to settle that between you and God. Ask God, am I doing those things? and ask Him to help you worship Him and Him alone. Again, I didn't mean to offend anybody. I don't want to step on any toes, but we need to be very, very careful that we don't have idols. It can happen very easily, even if we don't realize it. Well, we're getting down to our last commandment next week. Actually, there's a whole lot more commandments than just the 10, as I mentioned already. But next week, we're going to get down to the number 1 commandment, and I'll see you then.